Welcome to a week of Ghosts in the Scene, a very special week. This is certified audio sage for everybody, for all the ghosts that are listening, except for the one included in the show. Please
Thank
get
you.
away. I want to welcome back a very special guest. We used to call him the Horse. Everyone knows him by his Christian name. Mark Luffler is back with us at Ghosts in the Scene. Welcome back, Mark. How are you?
Uh, well, I want to correct you there. You don't say how am I? Because I'm not. I'm not really identifying with being. I'm more of the not being used to be. More into the past tense. So when you ask me how are you, I want you to ask how were you.
How were you? Yes. So for everyone who doesn't know, Mark is now a ghost, a self-identified ghost. Is that right? Am I saying it
That
right?
is correct. So I just want to explain. Last time I was on the show, I was doing pretty messed up stuff. I was tricking poor innocent ghosts into free healthcare, and then I was poisoning them. I mean, I was going through some tough stuff. Disney had me trapped in the hotel for years.
They
So I
had
was going
you.
through.
You killed an old man. I
I killed an old man.
killed an
But
old
that
man in cold blood, an innocent old man on the
But
street.
honestly, fuck that guy. Whatever. But I kept on doing it. Bagged a few ghosts, and it was one caught me and looked me in the eyes, dead in the eyes, and said, "What are you doing? Why would you do something like this? You need to look at yourself." And I thought long and hard about it. I always used to be obsessed with ghosts. I loved ghost stories. I loved, just
Play,
Scooby Doo.
I remember as a child, your mom told me this, but your favorite game was Peekaboo.
I loved Peekaboo. I loved Peekaboo. I would always watch Scooby Doo and I'd root for the ghost. And then I would have a fit when I found out I was just an old man under that ghost costume.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I've always been a ghost. I never like opening doors, I just run straight through. But God, or whoever you want to believe, just they made a mistake and they made me alive, but I've always been a ghost on the inside. So for
Wow.
now, this is 2018. It's a progressive time. I am a ghost. Cuz
Wow.
whether I'm alive or dead medically, quote
Right.
unquote, is besides the point cuz I feel dead and I feel like a ghost and I it's really tough because I try to walk around with just sheets on my head, and at work they say we can't see you, and I say that's the point. I'm a ghost. And they say no, you have to take that sheet off your head or you're fired.
They don't understand
They don't
you.
understand, or they say stop, you're rattling these chains and it's really distracting in the work environment, and it's really discriminatory.
What else is a ghost supposed to do?
Um, a lot of haunting. Um, what I do also is I go into people's houses and
Okay.
I pop out and go, ooh, and that's also very tough. There's several warrants out against
Yeah,
me.
that's breaking and entering. If you're
That's
if you're a live person, that's the problem when you identify as a ghost but you have a human body, Mark, is that they'll file charges on your human body.
Tell me about it. I mean, luckily I've contacted the ACLU saying I'm a ghost. This is what ghosts do.
ACL boo.
ACL boo. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And it's
Wow.
tough. And I have a lot of
Yeah. I
a lot of
accept you.
thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, it's I'm dead. I'm a ghost. Like this is who I am.
I see you that way. And I've seen you that way for a while. In fact, we've talked about you being a ghost for a while, and we've been prepping, the listeners for this moment, for your return, because it takes a while for you to be comfortable to live in your own non-skin. And I'm glad that you're finally able to shed your mortal being and kind of come and show your ghostly side to the world. Thank you so much, Mark.
No, and I mean it. This is the first time on live broadcast entertainment since Danny Phantom that someone has come out as Ghost ever. So it's pretty, triumphant day.
First live action since Danny Phantom.
Since Danny Phantom.
It's groundbreaking stuff.
Groundbreaking stuff.
Welcome back.
Thank
It
you.
feels good to have you back in the fold. It feels good to have you living your truth more than anything. And
Yes.
to all the haters out there, guys, if you don't understand that somebody can be a ghost, think about past lives. Think about who we are, 1,000 years ago, and how you can have memories, being a World War II fighter pilot and all that kind of stuff, and then really wrap your head around that, and then look at what Mark is talking about. It's not even that more complicated. He's not even talking about having a past life. He's just talking about being a ghost on the inside. And so it's very simple. It's a
Really
simple
simple.
concept. I wish that the world was smart enough and more and open enough to accept you the way that you are. But everybody here at Ghost in the Scene, we accept you.
Thank you. And I mean, I just want to say, and I understand because I was there too, but your show has a lot of atoning to do. I mean, there's a lot of anti-ghost rhetoric, some derogatory ghost slurs you use on the show. And I feel like, for the most part, us on this podcast have kind of put ghosts in a poor light. And as a ghost or ghost identifying person, I kind of want to set the record straight and give, show things from a different perspective, from the ghost perspective. Did you even
Wow.
ask them why they're in these movies?
What the fuck, Mark? What the fuck are you talking about? Because we've been uncovering truths. Okay, excuse me. Now you're getting on your high horse. I understand that you want to preach and you want to go ahead and share your new truth. Okay,
Mhm.
but that doesn't make all of our work false.
I'm not
Okay.
saying it's false, but it's misguided. And it's
Oh,
slanted. It's slanted. Just
oh,
like the
oh.
rest of the anti-ghost media.
It's okay. Wow. You know, you have somebody arguing, emotionally versus science. We are hard-bitten scientists. We measure, we calculate, we do math here at Ghost in the Scene. And so math is not anti-ghost. It just is the facts. The facts are the facts. We're not saying the ghosts are there, we're just pointing them out. Okay? We never said bad ghost. We just say ghost.
There's been times where you have said bad ghosts. I
There have been times when I have. Okay. Okay. I'll concede on that. I have said bad ghost probably a couple times on this podcast. But that's not the whole, and that's not all of our research, because we do vampire research, we do werewolf
Yeah,
research.
well, fuck vampires.
Well, of course, fuck vampires. But I mean, so you're painting with a very broad brush. And all of our ghost research, I say, is still valid. But if you want to come at with a positive, I mean,
That's what I want to say. Like,
fine.
I want to celebrate these ghosts for expressing themselves in motion pictures.
It's
Like,
gonna This is gonna be such a hard transition for me, because I am such an adamant anti-ghoster.
see,
I started this. We started the successful hashtag Say No to Ghosts, and here you are, one of the founding members of that hashtag, and you've come back as a ghost, and you're saying that ghosts should be in Hollywood movies.
yes. And I know it's tough. I was denying myself. I loved, I used to just, after recording a podcast, I'd put the sheet on and I'd run around and just make, I'd have to let it out, let my true self out. And sometimes I would get erect and it was just so pent up. And I couldn't, I just really want to make it right because I have a lot of ghost friends. Jacob Marley, Abraham Lincoln, you know.
Is Jacob Marley Bob Marley's cousin or friend, unrelated?
Yeah, in Christmas Carol, the Bob Marley's brother comes and visits Scrooge.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, this is a lot to take in. This is
I
a
agree.
lot to take in, Mark, because you've taken our entire mythos
Mm-hmm.
and put a giant question mark at the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts are in Hollywood.
Ghosts love question marks.
A question mark kind of looks like a ghost if you look at it from a certain light.
Exactly.
But ghosts are in Hollywood. We've pointed that out. We've pointed out Disney. We've pointed out the Warner Brothers and all of their pumping in ghosts into our heads as a possession. I'm only going to say this one time, and I don't want to get offended. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Mark,
Yeah.
are you possessed?
I'm not possessed.
Okay, that's something somebody possessed would say. Are you unpossessed? Are you not unpossessed?
I am not unpossessed. I'm free thinking. I love ghosts. I like walking in the graveyard. My favorite color is white.
This sounds like something a ghost. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm
So
not possessed. You would know if I was possessed.
I went down the checklist of is this person possessed? And I asked you a question and you answered the question and it matched. So yes, on paper, this thing's saying you're possessed.
I'm not possessed. Not at all.
I believe you. I see your eyes, the clarity in your eyes. You've never looked better. That's one thing that
I'm
podcasters won't.
glowing, right?
You're glowing like a ghost.
Like a ghost.
It's interesting once you really kind of take on the kind of aspects of a ghost, you do look a lot prettier. And so that's one thing the podcasters can't see. So I don't know if it's working for you. I'm not sure. I'm not going to take this away from you. I'm not going to say it's bad, it's good. We're just going to have to, because like I said, we're scientists. We're going to need to do some more research on this. So I'm glad to have you back to have your perspective, because there's a lot that we need to hash through.
Thank you.
Because I think you can agree with me, Mark, that not all ghosts are good, right?
I mean, there's good and bad people, but there's a stereotype like, oh, I don't want my house haunted. And you should be like, hooray, a new friend. Like,
Right.
take the classic movie, The Poltergeist. Friends who want to have a sleepover. That's all it's about. It's about
Basically, yeah.
friends. They're
Like,
just trying to say hi.
like
And they get a little angry because they keep on screaming when they're trying to say hi and trying to play. That's
so
all it's about.
like the TV show Friends.
Yeah,
Is
it's
kind of the
it was
poltergeist.
basically like, yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, I mean, sure. I could see how Ross and Rachel and Chandler and Joey and Phoebe and Winslow and all those guys from the Friends TV show, if they were to come over as ghosts, and that would be fine. But what I'm saying is that sometimes you get negative ghosts, bad ghosts, people that in their lives were evil, bank robbers, people that under tip, people that run red lights and kill people. They run over people, eat babies. Okay, there are cannibals in this world that will eat a baby whole,
Yeah.
and they're bad ghosts. They turn into bad
Well, why
ghosts.
should a ghost have a baby?
Well, it's not that the ghost has a baby. It's just that it's the ghost of the person that ate a baby becomes a bad ghost.
Well, maybe he wanted a baby when he died.
I
What's wrong? I don't. I don't see the problem with that, Gio.
I think that your morality is clouded now that you're a ghost. You don't understand that life and death has value. You can't eat a baby because you want that baby.
So you're saying once you die, you're just supposed to not, let go of all the things you love and all the connection? So
No, you can do that.
I don't understand what you're saying. Like,
I'm just saying that if you as a person eat a baby,
yeah,
you end up being a bad ghost. You become a
no,
bad ghost, not a good ghost.
because then when you die, you can take care of that baby forever.
But that's not why you ate the baby. You didn't eat the baby to take care of the baby.
Maybe you did.
You created maybe, but I mean, but my guess is that most people that eat babies eat it because they taste good. I don't know. Probably because it tastes good.
Or maybe they want a ghost baby. So just think about it.
But they're turning babies into ghosts before they're even people.
That's great. I think babies should be ghosts. We need more representation.
Mark, I think you as a ghost, you just have a different view of life and death now.
I do. It's just, it's just passing over. And let me tell you, the ghost side is a lot better. So much better.
You're this sounds like you're advocating death. I don't know, man.
It's really great. Like,
I don't know.
Fucking doors? Fuck doors. You just go right through the wall. Like, I want some water. Like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom right now. Ready? Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck!
You just went through the door.
Sometimes I'm still learning, and usually I can do it, but
you just went right through that door.
It didn't work.
It's okay. Well, I understand the premise. I get what you're saying. I don't understand the morality of ghosts yet, but maybe this is something that you could kind of walk us through, because we're not ghosts. We've never been ghosts. You seem to have a lock on this, so we can get your expert opinion.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. Let's not push this further. I think this is a debate that I think we can involve Rob in, because I think he'd be the voice of reason. Right now, it's just two people yelling at each other, and I feel like if we brought him in, he might be able to kind of choose the right side.
Mm-hmm. I think Rob. I've noticed this for years. I think he's in the closet, but I think Rob feels the same way. As he is a ghost on the inside. I mean, he's always wearing those white shirts, and he does always, he sneaks up on you. He says "boo" a lot. He says it's just a joke, but one too many times. Is it really a joke, Rob, or is this what you want to do?
He whispers it in the back of your ear. It's kind of scary. Okay, well, we'll have this debate at another date. But until then,
that was a sick rhyme.
Thank you. I've been working on my beats like Drake.
Like Drake.
So let's get to the matter at hand, guys. We talked about Vanessa Hudgens last week, and about how she is a ghost believer. She went on and just flat out said she believes in ghosts. She believes in spirits. She believes in demons, and everything. So she is on your side. She is an ally to you, Mark.
That's good. It's Vanessa Hudgens in the ghost community is just really celebrated. They loved High School Musical.
Mm-hmm. Ghost School Musical is what they called it. The
Ghost School. Yeah, no, it's an allegory for ghosts in schools, in the public school system.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Vanessa Hudgens.
So I just kind of wanted to take us all the way back to one of her first feature films, outside of High School Musical, outside of the Disney, because she is so involved in Disney that she broke out and she made a movie. Mm-hmm. And so this is a movie that I wanted to visit. I've been wanting to talk about this literally for years. I think this might have been the reason why Ghost in the Scene first formed. Was over the studying and the analyzation of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little movie that I like to call, and is titled Band Slam. Have you heard about? I mean, you've seen this movie,
Oh,
right?
I've seen Band Slam. I mean, besides paranormal, I love rock and roll, and I don't know a rocker worth their weight in guitars who hasn't seen Band Slam.
That's right. It's basically the Holy Bible, according to rock. You know,
Yeah.
Jimmy Page,
Jimmy Page loved it.
Robert Plant, yeah, has a quote saying, "Let me read it. This is the best fucking movie that I've ever seen. Period."
Period.
Wow, that's a very powerful statement from Robert Plant.
I mean, they just nailed it. The rock and roll lifestyle, um, and that's what's kind of about. Like, these are how these bands form. They go to a high school, and just rock bands are everything. They have a big competition, and it's a lot of trumpets. There needs to be a manager, and
Yeah, let me just kind of quickly tell you guys what this movie's about. So this is the IMDb blurb. A new kid in town assembles a fledgling rock band. Together, they achieve their dreams and compete against the best in the biggest event of the year, a battle of the bands. So this has all of the kind of like uh, trappings of a Hollywood blockbuster. Okay, teen drama, music, fun. There's fun to be had. There's kids who play the bass. There's and here's why I wanted to bring this up. There's even the rock icon David Bowie is in this movie.
really.
And this is actually David Bowie's last feature film that he made before he died.
Mm.
So you could see, I mean, I'm not saying that you could see the death of David Bowie in this movie, but there's definitely a feeling that he is like touching the veil between life and death in this movie. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's people don't talk about it, but in the early 90s, late 80s, David Bowie went through this whole haunted period where he was just releasing spooky soundtracks. And the thing that was really interesting is he was doing it all a cappella. A lot of people get like, stock sound effects, but Bowie, for those spooky soundtracks, for those albums, was just, ooh, here's the rain, which I've been trying to do it. So look out for my acapella spooky soundtrack.
That's some scary stuff, but it's well done. Very well done sound effects. I like that stuff. So this movie is about a band, right? And we talk about music and we talk about all that stuff in all of our regular episodes. And what we usually say is that a band is a group of people that get together and they make music. Music is spell, right? This is same. Basically, if you switch around the letters in music, you'd basically get the word spell.
Yeah, all the letters are there.
It's all there.
I think spell, yeah,
It's either that or incantation.
incantation.
Music and incantation have the exact same amount of letters and spelling if you just switch them around.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, think about that, right? This is a group of people that make music. Basically, they make spells. So instead of thinking of it as a band, think of it as a group of witches, a group of magicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also David Bowie.
Yes.
He is a magician. He is a spell creator. He makes spells. That's his whole life. So we have the main character of this movie going around trying to get David Bowie to listen to his music, trying to get David Bowie to follow his spells, because he's a new magician. He's making new magic, and he wants the big magician on top to recognize his work. So he finds and this is, of course, if you watch the movie, this is what happens. He finds a group of magicians. He listens to their magic. He says, "Wow, that's some good magic."
Mm-hmm.
And says, "Can I Can I manage you? Can I cultivate your magic? And they agree. So he takes bits and pieces, right? He picks people. He takes a new drummer, a cello player. He picks up people from all over the school and creates a like basically like the most powerful spell possible. And it is in the form of a ska ballad called I Will Do Anything or Everything I Own. You remember this song, Mark?
I remember it very well. It was everything I own.
Yes. I will give
Everything
everything I
I
own,
own.
give up my life, my heart, my home. So this song is about giving up all of your things to have one thing. And in layman's terms, that is basically kind of like a deal with the devil, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's making a deal with the devil and giving everything she has for a single thing. And what is that single thing, right? It is to own a person,
Ghost semen.
a ghost base exactly.
Just that.
She wants ghosts come, but whose ghost come?
I mean, as a young trans ghost, I always just would like to think it was my cum.
You're
That,
full of cum, full of
Mhm.
ghost cum, I'm sure.
But that's, I mean, how I watched it. I mean, maybe other people got a different.
Yeah, I don't think Vanessa was talking about you, Mark. I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry
I
to,
mean,
to
I've
burst your
always been
bubble.
a big Hudgenson's fan. I'm a Hudge head, which some of us call
Yeah,
ourselves.
you call yourself Hudge Hogs.
Hudge Hawks, yes, exactly. High School Musical, seen it.
Yeah, of course.
Spring Breakers, love it.
Ready for a quiz at any
Ready,
moment.
ready.
So the Hudge heads out there,
Mhm.
they know that you are not the subject of this movie. It is obviously
Probably not.
she wants the ghost come of somebody else who's a ghost now. And like you
Who?
said, this is somebody who had been a ghost for a number of years in the 80s.
Mhm.
I'm talking about David Bowie.
David Bowie. Yes, he was. He went through that whole experience.
He became a ghost professionally,
Mhm.
a lot like you.
Yeah.
It took the limelight for him to kind of take a look in the mirror and to see without the shadows
Mhm.
just how truly ghostly he looked, just kind of how you look. He was glowing all the time.
Yeah.
And so he became a ghost, and then he, went through other personas and put on makeup and, stopped looking so much like a ghost all the time. But Vanessa Hudgens still wanted some of that slick ghost cum that he had because
Mhm.
he has it on reserve. I think this is something about the ghost physiology, but you guys produce an inordinate amount of semen,
Oh
like
yeah.
way more than the average person, right?
Mhm. Well, it's white and we're white, so it works.
It works. All that cum has to go somewhere, and
Mhm.
so most of the time it's ectoplasm. Like if you guys have watched the movie Ghostbusters, Slimer and all that stuff, that's green cum. Slimer, it just has chlamydia.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if people know that.
And another connection when I started joining ghost chat rooms when I got more in the community, the stuff they serve on your popcorn is actual ghost semen. I mean, we have so much of it that we just sell it to movie theaters, and that's what they put on your popcorn.
What?
Yeah, so be careful. I mean,
Right.
it will probably be good for you. I mean,
I
but
mean, that it immunizes people. That's probably good for you.
yeah,
You know, I think you're right, Mark. We're really gonna have a very deep conversation, you, me, and Rob, about what is good and what is bad, as far as ghosts are concerned now, because you're opening up an avenue where, you know, I guess you're just kind of showing how much we are exposed to ghosts and how we're fine.
we're fine.
Because I mean, I used to drink that stuff by the gallon when I worked at a movie theater. That butter popcorn, and I thought it just tasted like butter. It just tasted good. Put some ice cubes in it, and it was delicious. And you're saying that's ghost cum.
Yeah. That's what you've been drinking. And so you've had that all inside of you all along.
I could see why Vanessa Hudgens would give up everything that she owned just for
Yeah.
a little bit of David Bowie's,
Mhm.
because I'm
I
sure
mean,
his is extra sweet, like a pineapple.
yeah. I mean, he,
So, go ahead.
David Bowie had that famous song, I'm gonna change into a ghost. It's scary. I'm a big scary ghost. I mean, he has a whole album called Scary Monsters. And that's all about him really,
Morphing into different kinds of scary monsters.
yeah, it's about him
The
being a ghost.
Wolfman, totally.
Yeah.
So she gives up everything she owns just for David Bowie. But let's talk about how David Bowie is a ghost now, right? This all happened in 2009.
Yeah.
So just quickly look at the number 9. Flip that 9 over, and that's a 6.
7.
Well,
Can we check our calculators on that?
yeah, go ahead and check your calculator. If you flip over that 9, that's a 6.
Maybe my calculator is a little broken, but I'm getting a 7.
I don't know. I mean, this is the kind of thing.
Agree to disagree.
I'm sorry. is your calculator set to scientific or is it set to ghostly?
I just
because I'm using the scientific calculator.
Scientific. That's probably
You're using the ghost calculator, Mark.
Ghost calculator, and I have the font set as Comic Sans.
And so it looks that way. Well, it's absolutely a 6 for everybody out there. A 9.
Do you have some empirical research to back that up?
I wish I did. I wish there was some kind of paper I could point to prove that an upside down 6 is a 9, and upside down 9 is a 6. I don't have the proof, the evidence.
Do you guys use fact checkers on the show? I mean, that's something you might want to look into.
We have fact checkers. We have people on the scene.
The street team, right?
The street team, yeah. Marco, Rubio.
How are they doing?
Kasich. I mean, everybody. They're all doing good. Jeb Bush is on the team. They're all doing great, but they don't get paid to do this kind of work. They get paid to fact check us on bigger kind of things. So on pi, the number pi, I'm having them write down the number pi for me.
That's important.
Just because I want to use it later on, because pi is 3.14, right?
Yeah.
4 minus 1 is 3. That's 3.3. That's so if you, I'm not sure if you've been following our podcast, Mark, and the arc of the show since you've been going through your ghost transition.
Yeah, I've just been in graveyards and going into a lot of people's houses and
shaking things up. I understand.
Yeah.
But we have found actually a lot of different things relating to the universe and to the existence of math equations throughout time and space. So real quick, let me just kind of fill you in. The equation to love is 3.
Yeah, like right? 3, 6, 9.
Yes, 3, 6, 9.
Because the 3s are the boobs, and then the 6 would be one person with a mouth into their butt.
And the 9, exactly, the 6, 9.
Yeah.
So 3.3 is the equation to love. So the last words that George H.W. Bush ever said was, "I love you," which is 3.3. So he was saying 3.3 as a final goodbye. So it was a warning. So we've been following all of this.
It's not a final goodbye. I talked to George a lot. Me and the other ghosts have welcomed him with open arms.
Wow.
It's a new beginning.
Wow. Yeah, we're really going to have to switch up the way that we talk about ghosts on this show.
I know. I'm trying to watch your language here.
It's really hard. Thank you, Ghost Police. I appreciate it, and I actually do appreciate it because it's going to be hard to kind of contextualize where we go from here, because we used to be such an anti-ghost show.
Thank you. I'm glad you've admitted it, And now that you're willing to do the work and come to terms, that's huge.
That is huge. And I will say it couldn't come at a better time because we are just preparing for the second annual Caspers. And it's going to be really positive this year if we could just kind of go with a new set of rules and we can kind of start fresh, start new. Because last year, we went really hard against the Oscars because they were accepting of all the ghosts in their show.
Yeah.
And we said that it was the only ghost-free show. And so if you're going to be involved in that, we're going to have to amend that a little
You're gonna
bit.
have to change it. I think we should celebrate. And I mean, what I could do, I mean, I can give me a short list of what ghost you would like to host the Caspers. Anybody. You want Kurt Cobain? I got Kurt Cobain could host the Caspers.
Wow.
You want Humphrey Bogart?
I get a little Humphrey.
Little Humphrey would be good.
Get a little Bogart.
Yeah, hosting the Caspers. And I mean, there's a lot of goes do a lot of hard work on these films, and that's what I would like to see the Caspers to celebrate. Just all
You get like Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Paul McCartney could sing a song. Oobla boo, oobla bee.
Or is it boobla doo?
Well, boobs are the things that ladies have, but that's not important right now. Boo is what ghosts say.
Boos are what ghosts do. Boobs,
yeah, boo,
are what ghost ladies have.
Yeah, boo is boo or ooh.
Right. That's the other thing. People don't realize that you can take out the B and just use ooh. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what you prefer. I've been doing more of a because that's the most effective. When I'm in someone's house and I'm doing that and I'm wearing my sheet, they're gonna be scared.
That gets them in on the floor, ready to dance. So let's kind of call it there. Let's have a little short one. I just wanted to have a quick conversation with you just to kind of reorient ourselves.
Yes.
This changes everything about the history of where our show is going. We were on a crash course, almost a kamikaze mission towards the truth. We were torpedoing towards this grand conspiracy where there was a ghost army, and when we provide you with all of our information, I just want to show you what we have, and if you can prove to us that everything is okay and above the board, and maybe that the ghost armies aren't coming to kill us all, then I believe you. I will accept it.
I can't confirm or deny that, but
just know that we've uncovered some under some rocks, some very dastardly plans, based in the White House. Okay, and this is going all the way back to the colonial, 1776 battles. This is old stuff. So ghosts are involved, and
I'm glad they were involved. That's very progressive of them at that time.
Well, my concern is that these ghosts have been laying these plans for 200 plus years.
See, that sounds a little bigoted to me. Why are you concerned?
I just don't know what they're up to, Mark. I just don't know, and I'm scared. It's not.
That's what someone with prejudice would say. I'm scared because I don't understand. I'm scared because I don't know. It's okay not to know.
They're amassing an army. It's an army. It's a militia. They have weapons. They're arming themselves for something, Mark.
That's amazing. They're exercising their right to the Constitution.
I cannot believe that I have to sit here and listen to this. Mark, I don't know how to explain this to you, since you're a ghost and you're on their side now. But not all ghosts are good, and just because you have a lot of friends that are ghosts that are nice to you, Mark, they're not all good. They're not all on your side.
Well, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree. But I gotta go rattle some chains.
Okay, well, be safe. Make sure you don't. You're still a person. You still have body that you have to deal with. I know that you don't like to admit it, but you do. So make sure you feed yourself. Do all that. Normal stuff that you have to do. The maintenance, because we want your body back here in the studio. We want to talk to the ghost in this scene. In fact, I think you might be the title. You might be the ghost in the scene.
It's an honor. Great to set the record straight and get you guys on track.
Wow. Well, until next time when we have Rob back, stay in the scene, guys.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Keep your eyes on the screen.
Bye.
Bye.